is this gonna work? One person is waiting to watch this.
One
Um,
waiting.
let's see. Are
Oh,
we?
it seems to be doing something.
Is it? Is it doing
It's
stuff?
I see.
Hello?
It's but. Oh
Oh yeah.
yeah, we're on.
Cool. Just gonna mute it. Is it? Is it doing? There we go. Yeah. Cool. So it's going. Hell yeah.
Wicked.
So yeah, hey everyone, what's up? We're going live. We're doing it. I figured out how to do it. I'm joined by my friend and contributor to the channel. Give it up to James Island, everyone. Okay.
Pale Goat 666.
Thanks, dude. I'm so like we're both stand-up comedians. I'm so used to like doing this like a stand-up show. I'm like, give it up for James, everyone.
The very funny.
Yeah.
Let's keep this YouTube stream rolling.
Yeah, for anyone, I don't know if we have anyone watching this right now. I think the two watching now are just us, but yeah, for anyone
Oh, I was
who
the one waiting.
what's that?
I was the one waiting before. That
Oh
makes sense.
that's definitely us then. Whatever, we'll see. Maybe some people will watch. Otherwise, we'll just have a good conversation.
You know what? Even if it's just a chance to hang out and no one watches, let's just do it, man.
Yeah. Honestly, that's great. Like, let's get off our phones, get onto
You
YouTube,
know what?
and
People spend all this time looking at their phones these days. They don't spend their time looking at each other over Google Hangouts. Okay.
yeah, people are looking at our phones. They aren't looking at us, and I think that that's wrong.
You know what the old-fashioned way is? Through Google Hangouts on YouTube Live.
um. So I don't know if anyone's watching or will care about or will eventually go through and rewatch this, but I'll explain that if anyone I should stop being like if anyone by a remote chance watches
What the
this, I'm gonna
fuck are
stop
you
doing that now.
doing? Why are you watching this? Oh
Um,
my god.
but James is a collaborator on my videos. A part of like my like process is getting like a vague idea of what I'm doing, and then I'll like hit up James and we'll meet up and just like riff about like the script, come up with some ideas, and then like once the script is basically done, I send it over to James. He adds jokes and makes the script way funnier.
Nice. That's what I
That's yeah,
do.
it's on the record. um so yeah, I feel like this is so juicy and topical. I want to save it, but also
Juice
maybe
it.
it's better just to go.
Juice it.
It's better just to go into this. Oh, there's
Well, maybe
people
we should wait.
watching.
Maybe there'll be more people watching our private conversation here.
Yeah,
Maybe
there
we
are.
should save it. Oh, there's 4. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's pretty
Hey
good.
everyone. Hey both of you. Um
Yeah.
so yeah, let's talk about May Day stuff. Did you follow like what happened in Toronto for that?
No. First of
So,
all, what is May Day?
so this is my very, I'm sure, super incomplete understanding of what May Day is. I'm we're Canadian, so like I think anyone in like North America don't actually know what May Day is about. My very vague understanding of it is that originally this like May 1st was Labor Day. I believe it originated in America, but I could be wrong about that. But that it was basically too wild and kind of got banned, and then Labor Day as a holiday got moved into like September instead of May 1st, where as I understand it, a lot of the rest of the world celebrates like
So,
labor rights and stuff.
so you're saying it was like too
It,
wild? It was like some sort of like bacchanalian orgy celebrating workers'
like
rights.
that, and just like extremely aggressive and like disruptive to like capital, whatever.
Oh, nice. Okay, all right.
So yeah, it's now more of like a fringe thing that like it'll be like, a bunch of groups with like there would be like there are a bunch of
Mm.
signs that I saw which like I hate to be the guy who's like, but optics, but like maybe a giant picture of like Karl Marx with a bunch of Arabic writing all around it is not a great look.
Mm, yeah,
But yeah, so
optics
there's
are
like a bunch
important.
of demonstrations. For anyone who doesn't know, in the Premier of Ontario is a fascist ogre named Doug Ford. Um, if anyone might remember Rob Ford, the crack smoking mayor of Toronto,
Mm.
this is
Talented
his
family.
yeah, this is his brother, who is now the premier, like the head of the province, and is just destroying the province. He's like, there's been leaked things that he's been trying to like try and privatize a lot of aspects of our healthcare system. Um,
Yeah.
what do you have any like favorite awful things that he's been doing?
Man, I don't know, like the whole education thing. I mean, just
Yeah.
like the
Oh,
sex ed thing, first of all, just as an ideological issue, peeling back all like the generally, I think, really progressive and good additions we had to the sex ed situation in schools, teaching about consent and teaching about like different gender identities and like starting it at a younger age with talking
hmm,
about consent and things like that. To roll that back to what we had in 1998,
yeah.
not even as like a cost saving thing or anything, just purely as
Pure
an ideological
ideological
like
and probably
statement.
like largely spite based too.
Yeah, like that was like really fucked up. I
Um,
mean, I think there are other things he's done that have been worse, that especially with regards to healthcare, that have like impacted a lot more people in a lot of ways. But that
yeah,
one is an early one to just see what that guy was, what Doug Ford was, where he's coming from was like
yeah, that was a big thing.
good.
It's also yeah, like in terms of like healthcare stuff already, there's a thing where I believe it was until if you're under 25, you have like basically a province provided drug plan. That's gone now. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff with education. It's also like much larger class sizes. And he's like cutting pay for like teachers. He one of the things is he made it so that
Yeah,
I don't know totally the details of it, but basically getting rid of overtime pay. So right now, like the way it's set up originally is that if you work more than 40 hours, every hour like your 41st and onward is time and a half. Now, as I understand it, it's something along the lines of say you work 40 hours one week, or say you work 50 hours one week, but 30 hours the next. Your boss is able to sort of roll over some of that.
yeah.
I told one of my coworkers, he's like a pretty conservative guy. He's this like older middle-aged Sri Lankan guy. And when I told him that, his response was just like banging his fist on the table. He just goes, "How?" Um,
That's hilarious.
but yeah. Um, it's so wild. And yeah, he's like making massive
Yeah.
cuts to emergency like first responders and stuff now. Um,
Mhm.
just we could go on and on for so long about how awful Doug Ford is. But anyway, so there are tons of protests against him. He's especially wildly unpopular in Toronto, where we live. Um,
Yeah, where his brother was
um,
the mayor. We have
Jonathan
the history with the
Ramos, I
family
just
there.
saw, asked you guys Canadian. I'm not sure if that was sarcastic or not, but yeah, definitely. Um,
We're definitely Canadian. We're super Canadian.
um, yeah. Um, but yeah, so there was this big like protest. I didn't go to the first one. I was like busy trying to get video stuff done. But it was like outside of like Queen's Park, and there was like tons of protests, and someone brought a guillotine. It's like a fake guillotine. Um,
Okay.
and people
Oh, I saw
were
that. Yeah, out on the front of the city hall or something, right?
yeah. So yeah, there was like yeah,
Mm,
this huge like it was like
that takes balls.
oh, it was awesome. So like all these people took pictures of it.
Mm,
I was in this like big march and Jonathan Ramos, can you please take back Lauren Southern and Gavin McInnes? Um,
Oh yeah, and Stefan Molyneux and
oh yeah,
who else? There's so many
Jordan
fucking
Peterson.
shitty Canadians. Jordan Peterson.
Yeah,
Fucking
we've done a lot of damage. Remember when the joke
yeah,
used to just be like, "Can you guys take back like Nickelback and Justin Bieber?" Oh, those were
Bieber,
the days.
yeah, Celine Dion. Now it's like, no. Think of all the worst people in politics right now. Yeah, they all
Yeah,
benefited from free
Ted
healthcare
Cruz.
their whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ted Cruz, right? Yeah,
Um. So
yeah.
anyway, yeah. I went on like the big May Day march, which was dope. Like it was like going through like the entire city in the rain, and like a lot of people were still down, which is great. But first of all, weird thing with the march was like it went really far, and normally they sort of circle back. This one didn't. It was just like it was like across the whole city and then just left us in this like park in the rain, which kind of sucked. Also, there's this like one old dude who like was really bad at leading chants. Like normally there's like someone with a megaphone and they'll sort of do like call and response things, and this one guy just sort of like people were like doing ones that were like, this what does democracy look like, this is what democracy looks like, and then this old guy got the microphone, was being like, this is what capitalism looks like, and people were like, wait, does that wait, I don't know what you mean by that. Is that supposed to
What
be
do
a
you
good thing,
mean?
or
What? Are you saying that you look like that? That's what you look
I think he
like?
meant like the
That's like
world we
Antifa.
see around us, but it's like that's not.
Yeah. It's like what? Just like in Toronto, like a pretty nice city.
Yeah.
What? What do you mean?
um so
It
yeah,
made me
that
think
was
of
really
like
good.
anti-flag, like this is what a feminist looks like. Where it's
Yeah.
like in like people with those t-shirts.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
what capitalism looks like. What?
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so there was like the guillotine was in the parade, and we had like a police escort, and they saw the guillotine and everything. But anyway, Doug Ford, our awful premier, a bit of a snowflake too, heard about the guillotine and called the OPP, like the Ontario Provincial Police, to like investigate the people who were making threats against his life by having a fake
Well,
guillotine.
it's funny to hear that from Doug Ford worrying about threats against his life, because you remember when that movie came out in Toronto, Filth
Yeah,
City?
yeah.
Remember that?
Mhm.
Like local comic Danny Polishuk was one of the writers on it. Pat Thornton played like a version of Rob Ford, and it was
Mhm.
after Rob Ford died. The movie came out about a corrupt mayor who smokes crack, obviously heavily inspired by Rob Ford. And Doug Ford at the time went on TV and said if he ever saw the director or writers walking down the street and he was in his car, he would run them over. He said that on TV.
Yeah. Oh, remember also Margaret
That was
Atwood.
before he was ever.
Yeah. Canadian treasure like Margaret Atwood. This is when Rob Ford was mayor. Um, Rob Ford wanted to like cut like a ton of funding to the libraries or something. Doug Ford is
Right.
doing that, by the way. But yeah, he like Margaret Atwood spoke out against it. And I think it was Rob Ford said, I wouldn't recognize Margaret Atwood if I hit her with my car.
What is with him in cars? What's with him in that?
That's his preferred
Cars are like
means of murderer.
cars are not a way to kill someone.
Oh, did you ever hear about too?
Like,
Do you know who Dwayne Hill is?
no, who's that?
Is this comedian? Actually, I don't know if I should have said his. Never mind.
You know what?
Some
He's a
guy.
lovely guy.
Yeah, some guy we know apparently went to high school with his like with the Fords, and there's a third brother that
Oh
no
yeah.
one talks about, and that guy kidnapped a chick.
Oh no. You kidnapped a chick like when he was like in high school or something?
I think like just out of high school, but
Like a
like
kid?
yeah, he like yeah.
And then he still wasn't like the worst brother. He was an early like good bet for going to be the worst brother, but
Yeah,
no.
front runner.
Yeah, and then there was the crack guy. He was like, for a while, it was like, whoa, this is the worst brother. And now there's a new contender.
Yeah, and he is absolutely demolishing the field. Like no contest. He is just wrecking the world.
Yeah. He's what Michael
Hermes
Jordan
both
of his own
calling the bomb squad on a fake guillotine to own the libs. Someone else, Jonathan Ramos. I'm not well informed on Canadian politics. Is it as intense and divisive as the American politics? That's a good question. I think it's definitely very much becoming that. Especially like recently, Trudeau is not popular on really either side of the political spectrum. Trudeau's like the centrist candidate, by the way. Like there's three parties: Conservative, Liberal, and NDP. And NDP is like to the left. Like you could basically look at it as like around where like Bernie Sanders is in the States, and then Liberal.
I mean, ideally, but
ideally,
yeah. Like that's their ideally supposed to be a what's it called, Democratic Socialist Party, but a lot of times they go way far to the center to appeal to the liberals who go further to the right.
Yeah,
it's pretty frustrating. I would say that like in Canada, most people don't really know anything about Canadian politics. People on average probably know more about U.S. politics than politics in their own country here. I know that I definitely do.
Mm-hmm. That's a big thing. I mean, now it's getting increasingly fucked, I think. The conservative, like the leader of the Conservative Party now, Andrew Scheer, is just like ridiculously awful. Just everything that you could like.
Yeah. He did a talk or like he was on some, what was it, festival or something, or some sort of speaking thing with Faith Goldie at some point recently. Excuse me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another person.
Did you hear about that?
To mention, we also have Faith Goldie. Faith Goldie ran for mayor of Toronto, by the way, and came in third.
Yeah. How fucked up is that?
Yeah. So yeah, but did you ever see Tommy Marshall posted a thing? Someone we know, this guy, Faith Goldie came into his store and where he was working, and then came in the store and she was like, "Hey, can I put up like posters?" And he was like, "Oh, isn't that the like Nazi person?" And she was like, "No." Like he didn't realize it was her.
That's funny. Oh God, I wouldn't have called her a Nazi to her face.
Oh my God, dude! Did you ever see the thing?
I didn't know it was her.
The InfoWars gun girl thing.
The InfoWars gun girl? Is that the girl that's like for her like prom picture? She had like a gun or something.
Yeah,
something like that. Or graduation picture.
Yeah, and so like she was like at some like she goes to like some liberal college, and like people were like upset with her,
and she was walking around campus doing like a photo shoot with her big ass gun.
So people were like obviously pissed about it and like talking shit about her, and so she decided to do a segment for InfoWars where she dresses up in disguise and it's like, "What do you think about Gun Girl?" And people were like, "Yeah, fuck her." And then she pulls off her disguise and is like, "Well, how do you feel knowing that that's me?" And or do you feel the same way? And the person's just like, I mean, yeah, basically.
That's funny. Yeah, like that's to walk around a campus and be like, "Oh my God, all you like liberals are being triggered by me and my gun walking around campus. Oh my God, I can't believe it." Blah blah blah. I wonder how they would feel if it was like a brown person walking around a campus with a gun. They'd be like, "Yeah, they should be allowed to walk around with a gun where they want."
Oh, I mean, they obviously definitely don't. That's we're both in like James, by the way. I thought I was pretty good about this. I like love like hate watching conservative stuff. James is next level. Like you are in some groups that I'm like, yeah, I don't subject myself to that. Like I thought I didn't care about myself.
Really?
You
You
are
think I'm more
next
intense than
level.
you are? Yeah, I hate watch a lot of shit.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we're in that Jordan Peterson group, and it's so creepy because it is, you see so many people just turning to being radicalized by the right.
It's crazy.
Like
Yeah.
I
You see it
remember,
on before your own eyes.
do you remember it was a while ago in the States, a black cop like shot a white woman, and suddenly all the conservatives were like up in arms about police brutality. And they were talking about it in that group, and then
Yeah.
someone pointed out the obvious, this is super racist and double standard, and literally just their response was just, yes, that is how we view this. We are their thing was like, people are tribal, deal with it. And it's like, yeah, not even
Holy
hiding it.
shit, man. That's so messed up. Wow.
Ugh. Yeah. um
Wait, what groups am I in that you wouldn't subject yourself to?
I don't know. I feel like you do like or I think you watch a
Because I
lot
know we
more
both
like,
go in for the flat Earth stuff.
yeah, I'm very into flat earthers. Those are great.
Flat
Um
Earth, yeah, flat Earth is amazing.
my favorite thing is how like there's such a cute like naivety to it, where sometimes they'll post like a picture of the stars, or like they'll post like, I just got a telescope, can't wait to look up at this
Yeah.
at what's up there, no idea what it actually is, but it sure is pretty. It's like, that's so
Yeah.
adorable.
It really is, man. Actually, like the flat earthers are definitely like the cutest of all the things you could hate watch on the internet. Like if you're gonna watch like a white supremacist video, you're kind of like, oh god, you know. But like flat earthers, you're like, oh my god, what? You guys are adorable.
Yeah.
You think all this? Look, he built a little scientific experiment all alone. Look at him. Aw, like all this stuff. Oh man, so funny. Our friend, do you know Dan Curtis Thompson?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
he's on a flat Earth group with me, and he recently got kicked off for good. But he would always try to argue with them, and like I would just fill up my feed him arguing with these flat earthers online, and be like, because he was in a group that was actually supposedly open to discussion. I mean, he got sent. It was called like Official Flat Earth and Globe Discussion Group. Have you seen the Flat Earth documentary on Netflix?
Yeah, of course.
You know the guy that's like hitting the ping pong ball on the hammer and like saying all
Yes.
the state capitals?
Yeah.
That's the guy that runs this group that Dan got kicked out of. So
Okay.
he had like a personal relationship with that guy. Like he would constantly get like messages from him, and they'd correspond and stuff.
That's so cool. Okay, my favorite thing is
Apparently somebody.
Oh,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh,
I
of
was
course,
just gonna say,
Purple
apparently
Light.
somebody like messaged him, looked at his Facebook profile, found out he was an actor, and somebody from the group messaged him and was like, "Hey man, I'd stay away from the entertainment business if I were you. Some fucked up shit going on there." And started like trying to like talk to him, and then like he fed right into it. Like he sent him back one that was like, you know, it's true. I went to a audition, and before I did my lines, I had to renounce Jesus. And the guy totally believed him. He was like, "Oh my god, is that true? That's fucked up. I wouldn't be surprised, man. That's crazy."
That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, other crazy thing about that documentary is, do you remember the like guy who's like the crazy like the guy who like started the flat earther thing, who like wouldn't appear in the
Yeah, Mark
documentary?
Sargent.
Yeah, no,
Oh no,
not Mark
that guy.
Sargent.
Right,
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
so that guy's a
Oh, I
Montreal
wish he was
comedian.
in the documentary because like is he really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
So
Wow, what a fucking character.
So
Damn.
apparently the guy like claims it's all performance art, and that was all like a big joke or whatever. And there was some guy who really liked him in the Montreal comedy scene who was like defending him, being like, he should sue that documentary. They're saying outrageous, crazy things about him. And people are just like, they're literally just reporting on what he has said and continues to say and do.
Wow, man. Yeah. They're completely taking him out of context. I mean, like, is there a possibility that he's putting it all on? Like, some of the shit in that documentary was ridiculous, man.
I
He's
mean,
like
I think,
if
yeah.
that's real, he's a fucking larger than life character. He was asking for like, they were like, we asked him if he wanted to want an interview, and he demanded $100,000 and complete creative control over the project. It's like, what?
And like something about like Mark
Obviously not.
Sargent has to announce that he's like a psyop agent for 20th Century Fox or something.
Oh, yes. If you want to interview me, first you have to get Mark Sargent to agree to turn back into his true lizard form on camera.
Oh man.
But, yeah, I know.
We can go in so much for the. We can go for this so long. We should maybe go into some other stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want to just like dive right into it? So we're going to be for this live stream reviewing the Wind Up Bird Chronicle by Haruki Murakami. So James, before we just dive into book one, did you have any just thoughts about the whole thing in general?
Overall, I thought it was like pretty sick how the bird is like the main character, right? It's like it's a robot bird. Like it winds up, it walks around, and it's sort of like, I would describe it as like a sort of a retelling or compilation or a sort of a chronicling of this Wind Up Bird's life.
Wow. I'm gonna be honest with you, James. I haven't read the book, but I feel like I have now.
Yeah. Sorry if I gave anything away, honestly.
So yeah, what else? Yeah, we can talk. Should we talk about the upcoming video stuff that we're gonna be doing for Jordan Peterson, I guess?
Sure. Yeah. We had a couple ideas about Jordan Peterson, right?
Yeah. Also, if anyone's curious watching this, the second IQ video is rough cuts done. I'm getting music done, which should be done by next week, and so it should be up by some point next week before the weekend. Have you seen that there's a Hard Times headline that's like YouTuber begins each video by apologizing for hiatus?
No, that's definitely true.
Fuck, I hang out with like Nexi, name drop. She's just
cool.
She's just like, yeah, no, like a video a month is very reasonable to do. I'm like, oh, and she teaches at like she's a professor, so it's not even like, yeah.
It's like, honestly, it's hard to fit it into my schedule of just like smoking weed all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do drugs because I want to go to heaven, James.
You know what? I'm kind of curious about hell. So let me check it out. That's why I do drugs.
Yeah. Oh, wait. This is
if I met the devil, I'd be.
Or sorry, go ahead.
So cool, man. I have.
I didn't want to cut off that riff.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, yeah, I want to go to hell so I can like talk to the devil and be like, oh man, I have you on all of my shirts. You know, you're cool.
I did get a devil shirt for my newest video. So
nice.
Thanks for giving.
Yeah, the logo's a devil. Black Goat 666. Come on.
Hell yeah.
We all know.
Oh, so wait. So
look, he's a Satanist. He's cleverly hidden it in his own screen name. If you separate these letters, it reads Black Goat 666. You could be like, oh, that's just a coincidence, man. You're grasping at straws here. This is like playing Zeppelin records backwards.
Oh yeah, I should deny it. I've been leaning into it. I should really just be like, what? That's crazy.
What? They're like, your logo is clearly a three-eyed goat on legs. Like, I'm a furry, dude. I didn't even know that a goat was evil imagery.
I just thought it was so sexy.
I just wanted to fuck it. And become it and fuck other goats.
We are dropping viewers fast. This is very alienating.
Oh yeah. Probably.
So here's the thing though. Let's talk about Michaela Peterson.
All
So
right. Let's
you're a
drop it.
vegetarian too, so this is also very good.
Yeah.
So if anyone doesn't know, Jordan Peterson's daughter, Michaela Peterson, is a big advocate for the carnivore diet. And she only eats beef, salt, and water, and I believe it's either I think tequila and vodka she can still drink, or bourbon and vodka.
Yeah. Obviously, she picked like all these white girl like shots that she can have. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, I'm on a very strict diet. I eat only meat and mimosas or something like.
No, that's orange juice. That's not okay.
Right, she can't have orange juice.
Vitamin
She
C is
almost would
not
die if
allowed
she
in
had
this
that.
diet. Well, what? Humans aren't carnivores. Correct. So Michaela Peterson is like, she's been, I think, for like over a year now eating nothing but meat.
It's
And
got to
it
be
is,
more than a year, yeah.
yeah, and it's so fucked up. So like, she has some condition that legitimately does like limit her diet, but that is absolutely not what she should be limiting it to.
And does her father, Jordan Peterson, also have this condition?
No, he is just also on
So he's
board.
just nuts.
Yeah,
There's no reason for him to do this.
no.
He's just subjecting himself to like painful diarrhea and like a horrible life and no vitamins.
Yeah. So I follow her on Instagram, and it's amazing. Like, she posts these stories constantly. That's her eating just the grossest shit I can like it. For one thing, it's really expensive. Like, she'll eat like 2 steaks for dinner every night, and she'll post a picture of it being like $30. Not bad. Like, that's a lot.
Like, that's another thing that bugs me about
this.
this. It's another thing that bugs me about this whole diet is them being like Jordan Peterson being like, you know what, like everyone should be doing this. Everyone should be having their like only this meat all the time. Eat steak. That's all you eat. Everyone can do it. And it's like, that is literally impossible for everyone to do. Mm-hmm. The world would die if everyone ate like that.
Oh, absolutely.
There's not enough meat. Like, you'd be building way more farms. Super non-sustainable, just like it's an idiotic life choice.
It's insane. And this is like, it's bordering on actually like child abuse, where she's feeding her daughter this now. Like, I think that she wasn't doing that originally, but now that her daughter's like 2 or something, she's like old enough to eat nothing but beef.
2? Jesus. Well, people get pissed when like a vegan has a kid and decides to give them a shitty vegan diet and they die.
Yeah.
This is like you could actually sort of like have a healthy diet on a vegan lifestyle, but like this is just child abuse.
Yeah. It's so upsetting. She's also like
I haven't heard any of like Jordan Peterson's friends talk about this in like positive terms. I think people generally try to avoid it.
Yeah. So
I didn't hear like Charlie Kirk or somebody being like, "Oh, I tried out your diet too. Let's get that on tape." Everyone's just kind of like, "Let's just like not bring it up. You can talk about it with Joe Rogan. That's it."
So she did a Joe Rogan interview. Did you watch that?
I didn't. No, I should watch that though.
So wild, because Joe Rogan is so ridiculous and like out there, but in a completely different way. And he knows stuff about like diet. Like, say what you will about him, he actually knows that stuff. So he would call her on her shit, but in the weirdest way. Like, at one point, she was like, she does infrared saunas. She's like, I need infrared saunas. It's the only thing that can help me. And Joe Rogan's just like, what about a regular sauna? That doesn't work. And she was like, I don't know. And then Joe Rogan's just like, yeah, no, regular saunas are great. I'm trying to install one with like a treadmill and a pull-up bar in like my sauna. It's like, that's not helping here, dude. Or like at one point she tries to get Joe to like be on the all beef diet, and he's like, I can't do that. I have 100 pounds of frozen emu in my fridge.
Oh fuck, frozen emu, eh? Wow.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan.
That's the only bird that's.
So he didn't really call her out then.
No.
He didn't really. Oh man, what a surprise, eh? Jordan Peterson, or not Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan letting someone get away with saying crazy shit on his podcast and not calling them out.
It's yeah.
Man, I thought that guy was a journalist, dude. I guess not, man. I guess
yeah.
not.
Like 3 articles taken. Sorry, someone in the chat. I friggin' hate these extreme diet trends. No one does any research besides like 3 internet articles taken out of context or straight up bad research, and then they end up hurting themselves. Yeah, I mean, totally.
100%. Like any fad diet is like proven to be stupid and it's not going to work.
Well, I mean, it'll work. It might work in the short term of like you'll lose a bunch of weight quickly.
Right. A long term.
Yeah, none of them are like sustainable, and even like the ones that aren't brutally harmful to you will just as soon as you get off of them, you'll like lose all the benefits, and they aren't meant to be done for a long time.
Yeah. They're Anyway, that I mean, that's not even like the most harmful or stupid idea that Jordan Peterson has, but just as like the probably like the most. It's not even the most out there and weird either, but it's just like just a fucking weird idiosyncrasy of an already fucking crazy dude.
Yeah. Oh, also, maybe I should. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm just gonna put on headphones because I'm sorry. I hope it's not making the thing down here. Because I can't quite hear you, James, but I don't want to put on the headphones without.
Yeah? Okay.
Here we go. Okay, that's better. All right. Anyway, sorry about that.
Ooh. Am I quiet in the video too? You think?
I don't know. How does James sound, everyone? I'm getting a bit of static, but I don't know if it's
Oh, okay.
Okay. Seems okay. Racing IQ video is really funny, by the way. Thanks for fighting back against the pseudoscience crap. Thanks so much, man. I really appreciate that. New one's coming very soon. I'm pretty happy with it. This one I didn't realize, but I think it's way meaner and like way more aggressive than the other one.
Yeah, I love it, dude. Let's get mean, man.
Yeah.
Get mean. Let's bully these IQ nerds, dude.
I'm so down. We were gonna do this. We'll try and figure out how to I couldn't figure out the technology stuff. I'm also sick and like just got up from a nap. But we're gonna do a thing about that video I showed in the IQ video. 1691L or whatever it is, 1791L. Fuck those nerds. They're so bad. James, I can't hear you. Can other people hear James? I don't know what's going on here.
Try.
Oh yeah.
Headphones. Hello, can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, just unplug the headphones. Maybe I should just do it like that?
I don't know. I guess so.
Let me figure it out. Give me a sec.
This would not be a live stream without technical fuck-ups.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. Does it sound good?
Yeah, it sounds perfect.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Great. Well. Yeah. The Racing IQ video was cool. I have felt pretty strongly about this whole Racing IQ debate issue for a while. So I was really glad that Sam wanted to do a video on that. That's so annoying how people overstate the importance of IQ and how by almost any measure it's been proven to be an imperfect system.
Yeah, in the new one, I don't want to go too into, but yeah, there's one part where I say it's not totally useless. If you wanted to do something like measure a homogeneous group of people's cognitive abilities, IQ is how you would want to do it. But when you use it, especially to do cross-cultural comparisons, it is so insanely flawed because it can't tell the difference between difference and deficit.
Yes. Yeah, no, yeah, that's exactly it. It was written for a certain population and it doesn't apply to the world at large. And it's just kind of been misused, I guess, as a tool by racist people to prove their points without really considering any of the underlying aspects of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, so anyway, just want to go back to the Michaela Peterson stuff because
Oh
boy.
yeah, right.
Okay, yeah. So, sorry, I'll get to the comment in a second. I don't know if this is actually really mean. I went to high school with Michaela Peterson and her brother.
The cat's in the bag.
So I know them personally. One of my friends legitimately like goes on vacation with Jordan Peterson and the family. And so I like reached out to Michaela Peterson just when she was like posting all of her like she's a terrible cook too. And so like she'll post this like it'll be like
maybe she's only good at cooking steak. Maybe that's the only thing she does know how to cook.
So it'll be like liver and it's just charred to an absolute crisp. And she'll just be like, yum, looks so good. I love it when it's super black. It's like so bad. And I like responded to it being like, OMG, this is so good. Please do more cooking content or maybe a YouTube channel.
Does she like think that you guys are friends? Like, does she?
I think so. Because like she watches all of my stories on Instagram too.
Is she watching this right now? Maybe she's
probably not. I don't think she knows about my YouTube channel. I don't think she is friendly if she did.
Yeah, probably.
But
like, well, he does have some very mean videos about my dad, but maybe he's still cool with me.
Yeah. So I've like sent her that, and I'm hoping that she's gonna start making a cooking channel on YouTube. Literally, I'm trying to encourage her to do that literally just so I can start making content about it, mocking it.
Oh man, you're like an insider trader. Like, you know, you're like
what this is.
Secretly, you're like, oh shit, do this. It's not cringy at all. And you're like, I'm gonna reap the cringe likes by like,
just downloading all of it, getting ready.
Oh my god, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. Wait, sorry. I saw there's another comment I wanted to get to. Is there oh, good. You're come over what people actually use it for because it's I still get weird pushback from people who insist it's ubiquitous. Usually just encounter haughty nerds who insist their IQ is 130 is amazing and therefore they're galaxy brains who can't understand normal social interactions.
Yeah, IQ is used like for a lot of bad reasons. One of them is to like subjugate people for their race, and another one is just to be as an excuse for being just a total asshole in social interactions.
Yeah.
Like, oh, sorry, I was a dick to you, but I have an IQ of 160, so I'm allowed to have some deficiencies elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, there are some legitimate uses for it. For instance, dismissing criticism of Rick and Morty is a very good way to use IQ.
That is true, man. You know how like some cartoon shows, they'll have like the 14 plus can and a leaf in the corner? You know? Like, I feel like Rick and Morty should have that, but with IQ. You'd be like, your IQ should be like 130, like enough.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Imagine if we had IQ ratings for movies. Oh man, that'd be crazy.
That's so good. Yeah,
you want to watch like a Christopher Nolan movie? It's like, oh no, this isn't the Avengers, dude. This is the Dark Knight. All right.
The Joker's in this, so I don't think that you can handle.
The Joker's in this, so you know it's gonna be cerebral, dude. Did you know it's actually like a statistical fact that black people don't have the proper appreciation of the Joker?
Yeah, that or Fight Club or frankly The Matrix.
Wow. People don't like when you point these things out, but they're true.
Yeah, fun. It's the thing my mom does all the time when there's just like an awkward lull in the conversation that she's just been sitting back in. She'll just go, fun.
That's funny.
Such a good like mom move.
That is classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, no, IQ, yeah. What were we talking about? Michaela Peterson?
We're talking about Michaela Peterson doing the insider trading shit. That shit's like, yeah, that stuff's so weird. I don't know if there's anything else that'd be fun. I mean, we are next video is going to be about Jordan Peterson, so yeah, maybe we should talk a bit about that. Or what did you think about the Zizek debate? Did you see any of it?
Oh yeah. Honestly, the thing that pissed me off the most was, I mean, it was kind of like obvious for a while, but just to hear confirmation that Jordan Peterson actually has never read any Marxist theory or like had any knowledge about anything, when he's the guy that has basically brought the word Marxist back into like the popular vernacular with his whole cultural Marxism shit.
Yeah,
He doesn't even know what that means.
totally.
And when he like it said for the debate, he was like, I actually I just read the I read the Communist Manifesto for this. It's like, what? You read that for this?
Yeah.
And that's the only thing you read? And you're debating Zizek? What? It was actually unbelievable. It was so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And the one part he was talking about how he was like, this I was amazed to find out that Marx actually admits that capitalism is better than feudalism. It was like,
Yeah.
that's your gotcha moment, dude? What are you talking about?
That was huge. Another part I thought was like really telling is like how like just how like out of his depth Peterson was when Zizek does the whole thing about how he really likes Christianity because, you know, even on the cross, the Father, why have you forsaken me, and so God himself becomes an atheist, and this is this means that he says like how this is a signal that the separation from God is not a glitch but a feature of Christianity, and that is essentially a part of like grace is to be separate from God. And like that's a really cool, interesting, like sort of Zizek-y style idea.
That's a great point. Yeah. I love that. I'm a
And-
huge fan of that point.
Like that is such a like, you know, it's a good point, but it's not one that's like that like surprising that like someone like Zizek would make. And the fact that Peterson was like, wow, yeah, and you know, it like, and just went into such a basic thing from like what he took away from that was like, you're right, existence is so much pain and life is suffering and you just need to clean your room. And like that's what he took away from that. It just so much showed
You're
how
right.
yeah. That's
It's
why
like- he
Cupid
says
has
that about
arrows.
Christianity.
Yeah.
Oh, so what you're saying is that lobsters are people.
Yeah.
If I
like,
could just interpret your words,
it's not even like he's like, I don't think
suggesting that
he's like doing it maliciously. I literally think that it's just he has such a shallow understanding of this type of a reading of things that that's all that
This
he
is
could
just-
get out of it.
he just he doesn't understand Zizek. He did almost no research on him. He said he watched some YouTube videos to prepare for the debate. So
Yeah.
like
I
when
saw
Zizek
some
would
real
say
good
shit like that,
memes.
and he would be surprised.
Yeah. You know, I was surprised because all the research I'd done on you, people had been photoshopping your face onto minions, or there were shirts that said I would prefer not to. I would prefer not to. What, sir? There is no ideological rigor to this.
I should bloody hope not.
Just meme Zizek versus meme Peterson. I guess Chapo did that, but yeah. Yeah, there was also like the part I was kind of disappointed how it didn't really seem like a debate. It seemed like Peterson was like very out of his depth, and then it seemed like Zizek just kind of doesn't have anyone to talk to, and so it was just sort of him being like, you know, I never get to talk about toilets and so, and like just started going on about ideology, not really in like a confrontational way, but just in a, isn't this crazy? And Peterson was kind of just like, so in my book, and like had nothing to really come at it with. It was just it I really hope they don't do like a
It
Bill
wasn't a good
O'Reilly
matchup.
Oh,
It wasn't a good matchup at all.
yeah. Oh, Theory Plebe, what's up, BS? What's BS? Sorry, someone is in the chat. Yeah, it wasn't a good match. I thought Sarah Ahmed would have been more interesting. She has a book called, I think it's The Problem of Happiness, and it's a really interesting book about how yeah, it's sort of her saying how like happiness is kind of a problematic goal to have because it there's like it precludes things like revolution or whatever. I thought that would have been an interesting matchup, but yeah. Sorry.
I would like to see, I'd like to see Peterson with Richard Wolff or Ben Burgess.
Oh yeah. I mean, Richard Wolff would just be there'd be no. I mean, Peterson does not know anything about economics. I mean, at least he pretends to know about theory.
Yeah, but it would just be like a more fair, like not fair, but I think it would be a better matchup than Zizek, honestly. I like Zizek, but like that debate was like pretty pointless overall. They didn't really like you said, like Peterson didn't even know how to respond to Zizek's like zaniness, you know?
Yeah. Sorry, Theory Plebes in the chat. What's up, bud? I hate when people say Z has comes off as someone with no one to talk to. He has no shortage of people to talk to, and he never shuts up. Fair. I know that you stan. Oh, you tried to instigate a debate between Wolff and JP? That'd be amazing. But yeah, I know the guy.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
Yeah, the guy.
He has an open invitation to Peterson, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of those things. But anyway,
yeah, I know the guy from Zero Books also has been trying to debate.
Yep.
Yeah,
he'd be good too.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see a bunch of vaporwave in the debate.
Jordan Peterson debates vaporwave. Debates a gif of a dolphin.
I have actually, Theory Plebe, I wanted to do a thing about I fucking love what's his name? Frederick Jameson. That's my dude. And doing a thing about Jameson has a book called Postmodernism or the Cultural Logic of Late Capitalism. His thing is he believes in the idea of like the political unconscious, that all art should be interpreted as a projection of the mode of production under which it's produced, and argues that postmodernism is the cultural logic of late capitalism. I've been wanting to do this is actually kind of dovetailing into one of the things I'm thinking about doing for the Peterson video I'm coming up with, but how Peterson like his idea that like postmodernism is the result of the Frankfurt School and these extremely difficult to read, I would argue not very well understood philosophers, and not things like 9/11 or the internet or globalized capitalism, is ridiculous. Yeah, that's got off on a bit of a ramble there. Sorry. But yeah,
what other ideas do you have for the next videos?
That one, or the other one is going to be about, or the other idea for Peterson is to do a argument that he is a functionalist. In sociology, like one of the main schools of thought is functionalism, which is generally, very broadly, sort of an idea of this society needs all these parts to stay functioning, and therefore it's a pretty regressive ideology because it sort of assumes that the current status quo is the one that needs to be maintained the most, and therefore it sort of looked at as like it's almost the anti-Marxism. And there's a lot, I've never seen Peterson put in those terms before, and there's a lot of criticism against functionalism that would be pretty doable. One of the things is like it's based on this guy Emil Durkheim, and he has this idea of religion as a mirror in the sky, that God is like a reflection of the values of society. And he never wrote about politics explicitly, but like people who do a political reading of his stuff will apply that same logic about God being a mirror in the sky as government is a mirror in the sky, which is obviously kind of nuts because it's saying
Well, that's trippy, dude.
yeah.
Government is a mirror in the sky, dude.
I mean, it's
Imagine walking around a protest with that on like a Bristol board. Nobody would know what you're talking about.
yeah.
You'd be like, yeah, so like, what side are you? Is that good?
Well, I mean, I would say it's very much not, because it's implying that like the government has the interests of society as a whole generalized, and that's what government does, which is definitely not the interest that government serves. By the way, if anyone's curious, this is our writing process where I'll just be a big theory nerd, and then James will be like, okay, but what if there were jokes?
Most of the time I'm like, I don't really know how to contribute to this. So,
sorry about that. So yeah, that's one. The other one I thought would be interesting would be doing one about cooking or like food. I remember my old roommate said how they thought it was like so amazing that as a guy I'm really into cooking, and how like my dad doesn't know how to do any like cooking, and this is like a sign that I'm like a really progressive guy, which I don't think that's why I'm a really progressive guy. And like, I feel like a big part of that is that now that we're sort of post-industrialized, restaurant work is the last like blue collar job. And that's why it's been so lionized, and people make such a big deal about it. There's so many shows about it now. I also think that there's some aspect to how...
Two Broke Girls.
Huh? Two Broke Girls? Yeah, exactly.
Two Broke Girls. And others.
Yeah, and others. Anthony who? Never heard of her. I feel like there's another aspect to it where the fact that we're so like non-religious now, that a lot of our ideas about like purity that used to come from religion now have been put into what we eat and our food and stuff. And I feel like that is an interesting area to explore.
Wait, what? Purity,
like
the idea of purity goes to what we eat? It used to be we get it from religion? Now that I know there's no God, I guess I should eat some kale now.
Well, yeah, because I feel like a lot of like the idea around like how we are like we base like our ideas of like purity, it used to come from like I'm being like very religiously devout, and now that isn't really we don't really get that idea anymore, or like that's not really something that we think anymore. But now there still is that want to have that same view of I'm a very pure person, but now it's based around I eat supernatural things, and I'm and like
that definitely goes natural. I mean, a lot of the like hippies that are into like natural eating and like raw diets and stuff are like, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual.
Yeah, exactly.
This sort of parallel to organized religion that
Also, sorry everyone, I'm running the jewels so much.
Run the jewel fast.
Bread equals science. I mean, yeah, there's also obviously, bread book jokes in there. Baking is super masculine activity according to Roosh V. That's really funny.
Great, Sam. So now you're a sexist.
Yeah. I guess
Sam,
my roommate
you know what?
was
You're
wrong.
canceled for liking cooking. I didn't realize you were a pickup artist.
I did get called out for not doing enough of my...
Oh, you cook? You like to cook? I guess you choke women, too.
Yeah. Roosh is... I'm not a pickup artist. One day I hope, but...
No, I am not a pickup artist. I would never call myself that until I have successfully
completed
mystery.
Yeah.
I watch Keys to the VIP every day.
Oh, is that
Someday I hope to be
anyone
in a
out
real
there
VIP.
Canada gets? Is that just a Canadian thing, or I don't?
Oh, I think it might be actually. Yeah.
Does anyone in the chat know what Keys to the VIP is? Because that's wild. I feel like it's one of those things like I don't know. There's like like Angela Anaconda that no one knows about. Oh wait, Roosh V's not a pickup artist anymore. He's a QAnon Trump supporter. QAnon's. We were talking about flat earthers earlier.
Hard to be a pickup artist when you're those things.
He's Actually, I think he is a flat earther because he was really skeptical around the.
Oh,
You remember the like black hole footage? He was like, "This is obviously Photoshop because they're claiming a woman did it."
If people think the black hole photo is photoshopped, don't you think they would have done a better job of it?
Yeah,
don't you think they would have made it more clear?
Also, so apparently people don't know what Keys to the VIP is. This is a real show that was on Canadian television. It was a pickup artist contest game show. How would you describe it, James?
It was kind of like what's a competition show? Survivor or something like that. But it was like one episode per team. There'd basically be 3 people compete to see how many numbers they could get at a club. And then they would have like a crew of like pickup artists watching and commenting on it and being like, "Oh wow, he lost the." And then they give them challenges.
Yeah, so there'd be like challenges like you have to open by saying that you're homeless or something like that. It would be like really fucked up, and it was just these like 3 really shitty guys, and they would like introduce it as like he's just like this one guy's like a sly calculator. He's like he's like ruthless, and then another guy's like he's like the broy jock guy, and the other guy is
you know what it's like,
romantic, and like
it's like Queer Eye but only super straight eye.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I remember one specifically. It was like a motivational story about one guy who was like actually homeless, like he lived out of his car, and he like won totally because he was like super charismatic. And they're like, you know, this is a real rags to riches story. This is amazing. This proves that doesn't matter if you got a lot of money, you can run game no matter what. You can like trick women into sleeping with you, even if you live in your car. Like,
isn't that actually? It sounds like an inspirational story at first, but if you really think about it, it's about a guy who lost everything because of his sex addiction. It's like, wait, like, so you're homeless? You don't have a home? Yeah, but I still fuck every single night. That's still, it sounds like a horrible life, dude. It's like an awful existence, man.
Yeah.
Listen, I may have eaten rat 3 times in the past week, but I also ate pussy.
No, they don't do that, man.
True. Yeah. First rule to pick up: never eat pussy. If you eat pussy, the girl will go back in time and not go home with you.
Yeah, Canadian TV is wild. That could also be a fun one, but I don't know if there's any like left.
So was that show just like a bunch of bros that like pitched like Much Music or whatever it was on as like, hey, what if we like were a bunch of sleazy like douchebags like on TV?
I think so.
Like, I don't think those guys were like actors or comedians or anything. They were just like douchebags.
Yeah,
that's all they were.
I think
like, I have experience.
This is also like pre-Twitter, so it wasn't even just like I'm like an internet personality. It's like no, this was just like this was that pre-Twitter type of like connected influencer type person where it's just I go to like a lot of cool parties and give out my business card a bunch. I've got like a lot of friends on MySpace.
Right. Yeah.
What a world.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, because like
obviously we both watched the show though. We're like, oh my god, the show is so stupid. Who would watch it? Saying super specific things about it. They had one episode where like they told them that they had to do this. Only the lowest member of society would watch it. Meanwhile, we were both like lonely teenagers. Like, maybe this will help me find love.
Yeah, true. All right, see a theory, plebe. If you're maybe you're gone already, but I saw someone who looked, I thought, exactly like Theory Plebe at a party, and then went up to them and was just like, "Hey, are you this person I know, like a YouTuber?" And then it was like this French guy who's just like, no, so you just know these YouTubers who you just follow and like talk to, and I was like, no, I mean I'm also a YouTuber. I think that we're like internet friends maybe. And then I was like, I do not know what you're talking about. And I was like, okay, cool.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I think people are starting to sign off. We've also been going for a bit over an hour now. Should we get out of here?
Sure, yeah. All right.
This is fun. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm gonna make this a weekly thing now. Next one, new video should be out by then, so I'm gonna have James back, and then Maya, who's like in all my videos, or has been in my last two, like in costume, and Will Jarvis, really good musician who does music for these and is a big fan of like BreadTube. So it should be fun. It's gonna be a party. Yeah. Anything you want to plug, James?
No, not really. I'm good.
All right, cool. Yeah, thanks everyone. Have a good night.
Peace,
Right.
team.
I'm gonna stop broadcast now.